And gentlemen,
Oop, my bad.
lords and ladies, and everything in between. Welcome to another episode of Geekin Out with your Geekin Out crew.
Yes.
I'm your host for the evening, Jermaine Jerfure, your geek of a thousand fandoms and keeper of the internet void. To my right,
Yes. Oh, you have me back.
Julian,
Ooh.
Monsieur.
Yes. Oh, yes. Me, Bad Juju. You can find me on Twitch. Of Double B's, Double D's. We do some gaming, some form. I'm a huge WoW fan. I'm a big Wheel of Time fan. Ooh, so that one's coming up soon. But yeah, not quite Jack of a thousand fandoms, but I'm somewhere up there though.
He does dabble. And below us is the queen of social media, Ms. Ricky Z.
Hey, y'all, I'm Ricky Z. You can find me on Instagram at Ricky Z Social. I don't know why it's misspelled like that, but it's Ricky Z _social, and that's Ricky with the EY.
Don't forget the EY, y'all. Everyone will mess that up.
Right. It's definitely EY.
You just gotta remember it, Ricky with the EY.
You don't want to end up on the wrong page. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Ricky Smiley, apparently. I don't know.
Yes.
Oh! Here he comes! Oh!
Right on time.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Timon.
Hello, hello,
Everybody,
hello.
welcome to on to the show. Introduce
Yes.
Hi,
yourself, the
show.
king.
It's our missing Sanderson sister.
Hi.
Yes.
He's our page. Wait,
Stop.
Page. Twist the bones and bend the back. Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
this baby back.
That okay. So what are we talking about tonight, y'all?
Are we not live?
We are live. We're so live. We
He's
are
like,
totes live.
oh, we've begun. Yes.
We are totes live.
Folks.
All right, so then.
so tonight we have a great show lined up for you guys. We're talking Hocus Pocus,
Woo.
Hocus Pocus 2, Hocus Pocus 1, all things in between, all things extra. But before we get into that, let's talk about some recent developments in the shows that we've been keeping up with.
Yeah.
So first on the chopping block, House of the Dragon.
Off with our head.
The way that if I wanted to scream Jakars, like
Jakars.
I just like it needed that, but I also understand her reason for not doing it. But she was just so close, so she could have ended it all right there.
I don't know what you're talking. I haven't seen the last 4 episodes.
I didn't see the very, very last one. I haven't seen yesterday.
Ooh, last night episode was so good.
Oh, I
have not seen last night's episode. The last episode I saw was the family dinner.
But then let's talk about that episode because that episode was phenomenal. I'm sorry.
That episode got me heated.
I was crying. I was heated too, but like by the end of it, I was like sobbing and stuff. I was like, "Oh, this
okay." Well, then like the next episode is going to get you heated. So, if you did not watch last night's episode of House of the Dragons, so if we go back to the one before it, there was another time jump. So by that point, all of Viserys' grandkids are older. So Aemon, Aegon, Helena, his children, are all older. Aegon is married to his sister Helena. Aemon is, a pretty good fighter. Yeah. Looks like Daemon 2.0.
You know what I like about
missing an eye?
I kind of you can kind of see where that came from. You know what I mean? It's obvious like this is the path that he's taken because they always made fun of him and things like that. And like now look at him, the big man amongst all of them. To be honest,
he got second son syndrome.
I'm sort of mad at the way that came out because the ones that were making fun of him the most was Aemon or Aegon and Jacaerys. Mostly Aegon and Jacaerys would just like follow behind him because he's like, "Look, check this out."
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because there's clearly a large age difference between them. Like, it was kind of hard to tell from the episode prior to that when Lena passed away at Lena's funeral because they all look like around the same age-ish with the exception of Aegon. And then like in that last episode, the episode prior, like Aegon looks like he's the same age as older. Aemon looks much older. Aegon looks about the same age as Jace and Luke, or at least Jace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think that they all look too close in age, even though they're not supposed to be.
When they were introduced, Aegon seemed to be like, or Aemon. No, Aegon. Right. Aegon seemed to be like 16, right? And Aemon was like 12, and Jace was like 10. Like that's how it seems like the ladder goes. Like 15, 12, or 16, 12, 10, and then like little baby Luke was like 4.
Well, no, the two kids, Aemon and Aegon, came beforehand for sure. So they're 16, 12. Yeah, you're right. But there's 3 of them, aren't there?
Yes, there's Helena.
Helena was like just born then, or close to it. She was like a little kid.
No, I mean, out of
She's like,
Allison's kid, it's only the 2 boys.
yeah, she's Allison's
Oh, and the
third
girl.
kid.
The
Helena.
daughter married them too.
I thought Aemon was
the daughter that
the
the
third
brother's
one.
married to currently.
I thought it was Aegon, Helena, and then Aemon that were
No,
their order.
Yeah, I think Helena's in between. Technically, I think the Aemon is just the youngest
I don't think so, but
out
there
of their
might
family.
But if you're watching, please
Out of
feel
the
free
group.
to check and like ask
Yeah,
it or
we'll
check on and let us know because I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind figure out.
But it's definitely a crazy sauce.
So, but yeah, so like in that previous episode, Viserys is literally decrepit, crypt keeper, like on his death's door.
I love him.
I felt so bad for him because like that was clearly what he'd been wanting this entire time. He wanted his family together. He wanted them to be at least civil.
Yeah.
And like it was like pulling teeth. And you know, to her credit, Rhaenyra had been trying to be like cordial from the get-go.
Yeah.
So like whether it was proposing a marriage between Helena and her oldest son, or just, you know, she said like we were once friends. We don't have to be like this, but
We do.
Allison was on some BS, and Sir Cole. I'm ready for him to go. I'm ready for him to go. He needs to go. I'm ready for him to go.
That's the guy that's the knight who's the captain who is loyal to her. Yeah.
To Allison, yes. Now.
Yeah.
The lover scorned. The lover spurned.
I could do without that conflict because I feel like she keeps stepping in it, but it's like why are you being extra? She's being extra for no reason, I think. But maybe not no reason because technically her father's like super politically manipulative. So she probably just, you know, knowing how he is, she probably just suspects the same out of most other people in court, and so which is why she's been able to maneuver so well.
So strangely enough, though, like that was brought up in this this last episode.
Oh, bitch!
Right, like just the fact that like spoiler alert. Oh, I gotta do this. But like, well, spoiler alert though. But like, there was a situation where Rhaenys had to give her a good preaching to, but like, girl, you talking about your duty to the kingdom and to the people. But you're literally doing this in service of the men in your life between your father, your husband, and your son. They don't even really want the crown like that.
Right.
Like you're talking about your duty, but like you're basically like falling in line with the patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like she literally told her about herself. She's like, you've been doing all this, and you didn't think, hey, let me get the seat of the throne real quick.
Yeah.
Like you could have had it.
Yeah.
You could have had it.
That's true. But I mean, I think that it also really just it's funny because it speaks to the fact that she knew better beforehand when she was younger, rather. Well, she just knew something different. Like, you know, when she was younger, she fought against the establishment essentially is really what that was. And like she's become more in line, if anything, only for her father. So it's like her familial ties really what made her step up and be a little bit more mature about her duties and things like that. Because when her mother passed, that was it. She was like, okay, now I have to step up for my father because I know he has no one else. You know what I mean? He has no one else to really support him in these ways. So that's when she really started to step up. I thought, and that was like the feeling that I got from their interactions. So I think that it's not. I think it's just she's doing what she feels like she has to do because they're in a very tight spot, you know.
Right.
They won't just take any woman. You know what I mean? It has to be a woman who's firm and strong, who still shows the qualities that they would value in a man having that position. So
I get that. I think that
is a little. That's all.
I would. So from what I've heard, the Allison from the books is a lot more political minded than the Allison in the show. Yeah. Because I feel that from that time that Otto was fired from being the Hand and basically sent away, and he told her, "Hey, your kids' lives are on the line as long as Rhaenyra is considered heir to the throne.
Yeah.
So, like, I think he scared her into being so adamant about making Aegon heir, because before she wasn't really trying to.
Absolutely that. Absolutely that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely that. Yeah, because before she was just, doing her duty in her own way, because it's like she kind of got forced into this in the first place.
And she straight up said that Rhaenyra would make a great queen on the throne.
Yeah.
At one point, and then things started going differently, or she felt some type of way.
Well, she just got manipulated by
Mhm.
by the master manipulator, who's been manipulating her whole life, probably, sadly.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
Oh, that other Varys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otto too. All right. So, hey, Tamon wanted me to show a video real quick.
Commercial break.
Okay. Ready? Is it ready? Okay, let's do it.
Ready.
Okay. Well, let me play it.
Oh, I'm here for it.
I can't hear anything.
You know what? I've never been prouder to be in anything.
Can you hear
I
now?
always knew it was going to be a triumph.
Yeah, it's good.
Carl Martin meets Chris Martin. What could go wrong? Game of what now? Hey! I'm a Rastafarian.
No,
I got dragons and they're very scary. Been here and there and then I've been everywhere again. Rastafarian.
okay,
I'm
Scott.
the nearest Targaryen when you wanna reach me. And if you feel the love, then you can call me Khaleesi. Got so many names. I'm Queen of the Andals, Queen of the Marine.
What do you got us watching, Tamon?
Right?
I'm a Rastafarian.
Oh my
it's Thursday
God.
Live, but is it real? Thursday Live?
Rose.
Is it next week? Is it next Thursday? Like, what Thursday is it?
This is like from 2015.
That's
I'll
from
watch
2015.
This is from 2015, y'all.
That's old.
That's old.
That's Scottfield. I was like, okay. I was just talking about Gwen Stefani too, who's like, we all know her roots are in the ska,
The
genre and stuff. Sorry, random.
I thought that would have been fun since we're talking about Game of Thrones and
That was very cute.
Yeah.
it's the nearest Targaryen.
Yeah, Daenerys singing some reggae beats for us.
So, quick question: are y'all Team Green or Team Black?
I don't know what that means.
It's a hard one because I'm Team Black, but I do like Alicent. I know that I think I can't stand her because of her position, but I feel like if she were,
first of all,
if she were to air herself out with
Alicent-
this bitch with Rhaenyra, they'd be a fucking force. You know what I mean?
They could have been.
Yeah,
they could have been. They could have been great together.
Nah.
But Alicent is mad and jealous that Rhaenyra just gets to smash who she wants, and Alicent has to smash her undead dad.
Yeah.
Speaking of things you have to do as a woman, or you can or cannot do as a woman. There's this particular scene in this last episode, just a fair warning, where you just like it's clear, you can clearly tell that Alicent is not in control of the situation like she thought she was.
Right.
And so, particularly with Lord Larys.
Oh yeah, because that one, he's coming. The gay best friend. Can we talk about it? Who's like,
I wouldn't even call him a best friend.
Shiftiest, ugliest dude I've ever seen in this entire
and
series.
He does, and so in this last episode, you really see how shifty he has been over the course of how many years? Because it's been like a good 10-15 year jump.
He's the new Varys Littlefinger love baby.
Oh yeah. Eesh.
All right. So switching shows, let's talk about She-Hulk's finale.
Yes.
And the She-Hulk series.
Oh my god. Okay, Kevin is real, just so everyone knows, in one way or another. He's not independent of thought, but there is program and algorithm that they go by, that they use to, create plotline structures and things like that, and it's like so.
I.e.
Parts of them are real,
storytelling.
parts of them are not.
Mhm.
I
I
love
should
it.
say I thought that break from the actual finale was lazy. I had a
You
hope.
know what's funny about that? Also, it harkens to her most iconic moment when she was fighting with Spider-Man, and like she like read the writers for not writing something witty or like a climactic, and it just moves from the conflict right to the end. You get me? So like you see her like in chains and stuff, and then afterwards in the next page it's just her ripping through the page talking about, you know, the
Yeah, she's
writers
ripping through the pages, going to the end. She's like, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
very much that.
So I feel like, and as much as I was tickled by the KEVIN segment and like her like breaking the fourth wall, and like I was tickled by that. It rushed the resolution for the entire series, and particularly that episode. And it's like, I kind of wish there was more. I would have been fine with some kind of fight scene. I would have been fine with some kind of revelation. I mean, I guess more so than
Well,
what
I
we
think there is
got.
a second season, possibly. I feel like maybe
Yes.
not, but there's a second season coming at least, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
So there's
Yeah.
a pickup
Hopefully.
where this left off, I guess.
Here's the thing. Here's how I feel. I love She-Hulk as a character, and I
Mhm.
appreciate that they want to do a comedy series. That's where She-Hulk lives. That's where she thrives. However, I want their writing to be
Stronger.
much.
Whatever he's saying, I'm inclined to believe. I agree with.
I'm generally there. I'm generally there as well. I
So-
did like the fourth wall break, but I also know that they could have maybe done a little more with how it still ended. You know, they could have given us a little more there.
Yeah. And I think like with the penultimate episode where she's dealing with like the guy that kidnapped the dude that made her the dress and the suit and like all the other stuff, like I feel like that was a really good like building up to something major, and it somewhat fell flat.
But I think, I think the second season will still continue on this storyline of what's happening, why they're trying to actually get her blood and things like
And
that.
that's my problem. My problem is that you depend on the second season when it's not promised to you. I mean, when you're Marvel and Disney, you know what's coming, but I just didn't like it because it didn't give us anything. We were at a point where the conflict was going to start, and then it just took us away from the conflict and made it funny, and then now it's over. And I didn't know what you said. I didn't know that happened in the comics that she does that.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but I did. The only thing I did enjoy was when she mentioned the X-Men. And that's the first time that the X-Men have been mentioned in a Marvel TV show ever. So they exist somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And then also that part where, you know, like Bruce just kind of comes in and gives us that the nugget that Marvel does, like at the end of whatever show or whatever run, they give you a glimpse into how the wider world is still kind of having its own conflicts and things.
Right.
So like that was nice, but it was just also rushed. Like they could have done that. I mean, I get it. I got that too because like obviously it's a fourth wall break and the whole point. But it's like you could have still maybe wove this part in.
So
everything like that.
So maybe as much as I liked it, maybe it's more of a filler series in this case. So instead of not necessarily moving up the plot forward as much as it's just like kind of giving a little pieces of where the overall plot is going. So so we're thinking like with the mention of X-Men, but the overall idea of that there are these soups, these mutants, these otherworldly people that just been here and just kind of living their lives, doing whatever, in broad daylight.
Yeah.
So like, how do we incorporate that in later on? Like, so maybe this is just more like a filler season.
Yeah.
I don't
like,
have a.
Has anyone seen the trailer for Secret Invasion yet that they have on
Yeah,
Disney?
it looks good.
It was it okay. Does it? Do you think that any like? Does it point to anything that's happening in She-Hulk? Is She-Hulk giving us any like pointers towards what's happening?
Is that the show with Samuel L. Jackson? The movie with Samuel L. Jackson leading?
I think
With
maybe.
Nick Fury?
I think maybe.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with She-Hulk not being a forward piece in the overall phases of Marvel. I just had a problem with how the show ended as an independent season in itself because it was enjoyable. I sort of stripped away all those type of, how is this fit into phase 1 million? I sort of stripped away all those things. But as a season by itself, it was entertaining. At the end, I'm like, okay, so why did I watch this?
Right, and I think that's kind of where we're at with a lot of Marvel productions at this point, because like I said, we've said this multiple times, like phase 4 is a build-up. It's like it's laying foundation, so it's kind of like, what does all this mean? So at some point we have to get rid of the expectations that we're going to know and understand exactly what's going on until later. It's just, it sucks. It's hard to let that go.
Agree.
Mm-hmm. But she was great.
Oh yeah,
Daredevil was great. I really enjoyed seeing Daredevil. That was so cool.
Yeah, they have great chemistry.
They have great chemistry.
They have great chemistry, but that actress, I love her.
Yeah.
I love her. I think she was a great addition to the MCU. I really enjoy her. She's kind of this weird like swag about her. I like her a lot.
She has so much ridiculous range.
She does have range, yes.
I've been a fan of her, and when she was casted in Marvel, I was like, yes. Did I want her to play this role? No, but like, that's fine. Whatever. Show everything you can do.
So it's Tatiana Maslany. That's
yeah.
So like what? So if not She-Hulk, then who?
I honestly think she could probably play anyone. To be perfectly honest,
what was good that spoke to her, I guess, was that because it was kind of like poorly received, she herself really didn't get too much criticism. You know what I mean? She herself didn't bear the brunt of it. You know what I mean? The way
she was great.
Yeah, because that's the thing. She, they're like, okay, the writing isn't as great and blah blah blah, but they never really critique her acting as if like she herself didn't deliver.
No, I think her acting was great.
It's just like you deliver with what you have. You know what I mean? You got lemons, you make this lemonade, bitch. Like,
right.
So,
but I also there's some range in the character of Jennifer Walters too, where like that breaking the fourth wall, that's some comedic timing, and then like the serious moments where she has to be like her lawyer self, or the vulnerability of wanting to be a Hulk, well, not wanting to be a Hulk, but like wanting to be a normal person and have to do a regular job, but also dealing with that you are a Hulk, and being a Hulk is what's giving you your job at this moment. I think she's been able to show a lot of range in that.
She's amazing. Honestly, like even when she was not baited and she lost it, even in that moment she was great. When she was in prison, she was great. Like she is doing great in this role. Yeah, with her level of talent, and not saying that Jennifer doesn't require it, because definitely it does require levels to play that character.
Right.
I just think she could have been cool. I don't know who else I would have made her. I would love to see her as a villain because she plays a good villain.
I would have.
I would do a really great villain. I'm actually really excited for Dark Avengers and Elaine. What's her name? She played Elaine in Seinfeld, whatever.
Oh,
she's in V. I'm excited to see more of her when they finally.
Jessica.
Not Jessica Jones.
That lady.
Oh my god! Oh god! All the fanboys are gonna come at us now.
Dreyfus.
I know, right?
Yeah, Julie Dreyfus. They're gonna come for us later. But whatever.
I think she can play Mystique.
Ooh.
I think she can play Mystique.
Okay.
With her range, like you guys have to check on her show Black Mirror. No, not Black Mirror. Oh, you seen it before?
I've Orphan Black. Like I remember because I was big around the same time as Scandal, and so like yeah, the hype for that show was pretty big when it was on. But she had to play so many characters.
12, like it's just,
she gave Nina Dobrev a run for her money. Honestly,
not just a run for her money. She took her money.
Mm-hmm.
She is amazing.
Right.
12 different characters. She's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I'll send you guys a clip so you can see her transitions.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. But yeah, I overall liked the show.
Yeah, me too.
The season finale was not my favorite.
Right.
But I can honestly tell you that, like, for the most part, it kept me engaged more so than some of the other ones that we've gotten.
Agreed.
I know people love Loki. Loki did not keep me engaged as much as as much as I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have to sit and rewatch Loki to remember anything.
Yeah.
That's how Falcon and Winter Soldier was for me.
And I like Falcon. Falcon and Winter Soldier started off slow for me, and it's definitely hard when you're coming off of the flaw that WandaVision had.
Oh, that's true. They had it hard, yeah.
Yeah, like WandaVision, like, set the bar really high.
They really did, though,
for their MCU television series. Yeah. Like it really did, and so.
But also, it's like that's how you come out the gate. You come out the gate, fucking guns a-blazing, but at the same time, it's like, oh, how do you top yourself every time?
But it takes a lot of like it's almost like the audience's job to be like, okay, WandaVision is one part of the MCU that's very fantastical, like, and when especially when you tie it into the multiverse of madness, but then like Captain America and the Winter Soldier, like, that's a different portion of the MCU where, like, you just kind of have to, like, let go of some of that stuff.
Back around too.
Yeah, and because that's the thing, the MCU is kind of expanding in a way. So it's we're not looking at only a one timeline and a one group of characters anymore. We've got, and as if Marvel isn't like, riddled with 100 different fucking heroes. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because we're coming from the what's the extraterrestrial powers and the just super advanced regular human powers to some otherworldly magic. Just there's so many other. Now we're gonna get into the mutants soon, so like there's so many facets of Marvel, of people with these different levels of powers, that like there's so much you have to build up to even get these things all involved. It calls for patience. I hate it. I hate to say that, but like
it really does, especially because it's just the way they're expanding it, and like how much effort and resources they put into it. Because it reminds me a little bit of like The Boys, let's say, and what was this? I just watched. It's like Justice League. It's on Netflix, but it's very 80s kind of. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's supposed to be a little bit adult and like kind of comedy. But it's like it's supposed to be very much like The Boys in a way. It would be a little funnier and stuff, and probably more low budget. But anyway, it's like there's the rings, different rings and power levels of your heroes. So you have like your,
but not the rings of power though.
Yeah, exactly. So you have like your city heroes, you have your national heroes, then you have your international heroes, then you have your universal heroes. So it's like, they're all in different levels and spaces, so we're just we're getting all of them now instead of just the ones.
There's levels to this.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very true. That's basically it. There's so many levels to all this, and like because we are trying to add way more than what we started off with, that took us 10 years to build. It feels very choppy in some spaces.
I love that the Marvel Universe is basically turning into New York, where we have all these different boroughs. And we have all these different communities. Yeah. And eventually, if something happens, we'll all come together if it's needed. But like, we are separate and we do our own thing.
Right. But they all live in New York, right?
So. Everybody lives in New York.
Literally.
Literally.
Well, except for She-Hulk, she's in LA.
Look, that's the one. That's the one. Okay.
She doesn't matter.
All right. So, what else was on that one on that list? No.
We talked about She-Hulk. We talked about House of the Dragons. Was there another thing that we wanted to talk about?
There was one more. There's one I didn't see. I don't think. When I don't follow it. But if not,
check the previous.
Previously on.
Can we do it previously on Geeking Out real quick?
Look, previously on Geeking Out, the folks that would started to go to every other week instead of every week, trying to figure out what they're supposed to be talking about.
We talked House of the Dragon. We talked about She-Hulk. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
We just had. Oh yeah, this is episode 3.
Let's go.
All right,
let's keep rolling. Let's just keep rolling.
All right.
All right. Well then, I'm back just in time for us to cut the commercial, and then we'll come back and talk about Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Yay! Well, let me find the right commercial. Shit. All right, ready?
All
right, here we go.
It is the original 1984 Wes Craven classic with Heather Langenkamp, Amanda Wiss, Nick Corey, and a young Johnny Depp, and the introduction of Robert Englund as Freddy.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
That's his favorite. Not the best, but that's his favorite.
Yeah. I personally thought Patricia Arquette was the best one, but whatever.
Ooh, okay, I quit.
Take his mic.
Wow.
Take his mic off.
Boom.
Yay.
Come on, tell us about it.
Oh yeah, that's my show, Scream Kings. We come on every Wednesday at 8:00. We premiered last week on October the 12th, and we talk about everything horror that you can imagine. But we approach it in a fun and different and unique way, so everybody can enjoy it. We have a really fun episode called Witches, Werewolves, and Vampires. Oh my!
Yes.
And Ricky is our guest on that show, and we have so much fun. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, tune in. And all that jazz is gonna be a really fun time.
So the next episode is supposed to be about
Final
Girls / Scream Kings. So like, sidebar, when I was editing and getting ready to post it, I didn't realize, but that was literally the pilot episode.
It was
the pilot episode.
Have you already edited all of it?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
No, but I still got your top 10. Don't worry.
Okay, wonderful.
I got your top 10 Scream Queens in there.
Right.
And of course, you have to talk about like the difference between a Scream Queen and a Final Girl. But
absolutely.
Yes, I think it's gonna be good.
Okay, wonderful. I'm excited. I don't have a voice, which is why I'm really mild today, guys. So I apologize, but my voice, I can't scream or anything. It's trash around here.
Oh man, yeah, Scream Queens on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on YouTube.
So Tamon just reminded me of the third thing we were supposed to talk about, which was Werewolf by Night.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, I need to watch that.
I actually watched it like by myself, like on purpose, because I know I'm a scaredy cat, and like I enjoyed it.
Okay,
it was so fun.
I woke up in the middle of the night. I needed something to watch to put myself back to sleep, but I stayed up and watched it, the whole thing. It was good.
Werewolf by Night. It's an MCU.
I was impressed and enjoyed the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't talk too much because whenever I try to give my opinion, my internet connection goes out.
Oh no!
So let's.
I'm just gonna take a guess and do this.
Yeah, Hocus. We're gonna be running the Hocus Pocus, guys.
Hocus Pocus review. So, are we talking about the first one?
We're talking about the second one technically, but I guess it's how it stands up to the first.
Danny.
Oh.
Talking to you, Timon.
First of all, the first one doesn't need much introduction or review. Everyone knows it. Okay. I'm ending. most people know it.
Yeah.
Because I just I just found out that one of my friends had never seen it before in his entire life. And I'm like, what? How? He just
Because
saw it
it's
for
a
the
cult
first time.
classic. It's a cult classic.
It is. That's true.
Like, you don't think about Disney movies being like cult classics like that, but like Hocus Pocus is a cult classic.
Yeah.
So, backstory:
Mhm.
the original one came out during the summer because they didn't want to compete with. They didn't want it to compete with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Uh-huh.
It came like June or July or something like that, and it
Yep.
tanked.
It
It
did.
tanked. And then, like, I guess about 10 years later, it really started to pick up with everyone else. Like, it became a cult classic.
Okay.
That's weird.
That's a shame.
See, I
seeing-
remember, for me, Hocus Pocus is one of those movies where I missed out on a seminal black movie to go see. Everybody else in my family was like, we went to the theater as a whole big old family. Everybody was like, let's go see Don't Be a Menace while drinking your juice in the hood. Woo. And I was like, I want to see Hocus Pocus.
Oh.
And they're like, but we're going to see a Menace. I was like, I don't care. I want to see Hocus Pocus.
You know,
So my dad was like, okay, you can go see Hocus Pocus, and everybody else will go see Don't Be a Menace. And I was like, a little kid just sitting there in the theater with my little box of popcorn, and my dad like took me to a seat. He was like, "Stay here." And I was like, "Okay."
Okay,
And that's
I need
the
to look
story
up
of
the
how I
minutes
went to the
because
theater for the first time for myself.
I'm trying to look
yes.
up the ratings for Don't Be a Menace because I'm trying to think to myself because I feel like my parents did a really good job, like probably too good of a job of like not letting me watch certain movies that are technically like black classics due to probably just the appropriateness of them.
Oh, that wasn't me. I watched everything from people getting killed to people having sex, people selling drugs.
Yeah, my parents didn't do that, and like, granted, like my parents were young parents, so it wasn't like that. But I don't remember them like letting me watch a lot of those things.
Yeah, a lot of black classics aren't really child friendly.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm trying to look for it. Rating. It was rated R. Yeah, it's like my parents did not take me to go see that, but like I didn't see Hocus Pocus in the theaters. Like it was one of those things where like someone has to tape the VHS at home. Hey, you want to watch Hocus Pocus? Or it would show up on the TV. Hey, you want to watch Hocus Pocus? Sure. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that's like ingrained in your brain as a child.
Yeah, these are movies you're not allowed to really be watching. You know what I mean?
I don't remember sitting in the theater watching it either, which is weird because I should have been. So I think it's like one of those things where they correct stuff in history, like Shaq playing a genie and some other stuff that they said wasn't real. I know I was in the movie theater. That's just amazing.
Shazam was real. I promise you it was. I'm pretty sure I had it on
It
video.
was. I went to the theater to see it.
Wait, people say that Shazam isn't real?
Yes.
No, I thought it was the one with
First of all,
Sinbad,
it was
but that wasn't
Kazam.
real.
Yeah.
That it was what?
It was
Kazam.
Kazam with a K.
You're right.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the claymation show Coupleland.
Nonetheless, it was definitely real because I saw that movie too. So I mean, like,
and so
on this day, you can like just whisper at my mom who has the box, and she'll be like, "Ugh."
Is that a line from it? I'm sorry, I don't remember it that well.
It was what he was like. He was a genie that was locked inside of like a magic boombox instead of a magic lamp.
Yeah.
So when the kid like opened it, he comes out. He's like, "Who has the box? The box with the lock."
Yes.
He's like, ugh.
I remember growing up and standing in front of my TV with my cousin and with Hocus Pocus and rewinding it over and over and over until he got all the spells right. and we used to like spells. And he will tell you this story to this day about me being a drill sergeant. We were children. From the top, we got to start over.
You're like, you got that word wrong. No.
Oh, yickety yakety. This is and I still know all the spells to this day.
Yes, absolutely. All right, but like, so back to the not reboot. It is a sequel. Hocus Pocus
It is
2.
definitely a sequel.
Hey, Billy. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Billy.
Here's
How
my
you doing, stuff?
thing.
Satanic Panic in the 80s. Ooh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's a
Blame Richard Ramirez.
Talk
that was a
about
time.
Hocus Pocus.
They're trying to bring him back now with this latest one. So.
Okay, so
yeah,
Hocus Pocus.
No.
Hocus Pocus 2, the direct sequel. So that we pick up after the Sandersons have vanished in the first. Yeah.
Quick.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Okay, Jermaine, I'm gonna give you like a minute to reboot and come on back. Okay. So yes. So the Hocus Pocus 2 released at end of September. So we get the Sanderson sisters back. The black flame candle is lit again, and they somehow return, trying to take revenge on
Salem.
Salem and the last living descendant of the priest that did them wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Essentially. So yeah, we get like a little bit of their backstory, which is nice.
Right.
Because we obviously didn't get that in the first one. The first one was just, oh, this is what happened to them, and they became witches afterwards. So it's like, okay, well.
Mm-hmm. So Billy says Hocus Pocus is so many people's Halloween movie now. I'm still a Nightmare Before Christmas guy. Okay, so like I was more of a Hocus Pocus person, and then I didn't watch Nightmare Before Christmas until shortly after having my oldest. Like I remember watching it once as a kid, but like and being associated with what was it? Which movie was it? It was Snoop Dogg's like movie.
Bones.
Yeah, it was like a murder, and like it was super creepy. Yeah, like I remember watching that. Like, I remember watching that and then watching Night Before Christmas right beforehand. So like for the longest time I was a Hocus Pocus fan, but like I'm more of a Nightmare Before Christmas fan now.
But I'm for Edward Scissorhands.
Oh yeah.
I love Edward Scissorhands.
Like don't talk about Tim Burton loving daughter.
Honestly, Edward Scissorhands scared me a bit as a kid, so I never like really watched it like that. Because when I was younger, I was like, "Oh, this is too creepy for me."
Those are like a lot of those movies, like between Hocus Pocus, Edward Scissorhands, like anything like that was like Tom Burton that came out like in the 90s. Like I remember watching them on TV, just catch them on TV a lot of the time. So like between that one and Beetlejuice and just those are just things that you kind of catch and they're just kind of ingrained in your brain as a kid. Oh yeah, I've seen this before. This is something.
Yeah. I agree.
Jermaine, you back?
Hopefully.
Yes.
So where are we? Hocus Pocus 2. New coven of girls, little tiny teenagers. They get tricked into lighting a brand new black flame candle. It brings the Sanderson sisters back, and then mayhem ensues.
But who?
Until they find a way to Tamon.
Yes.
Say something. Computer.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, so it took me a second to realize who the main girl is in the show. She's from Gossip Girl.
Zoya Lott.
Yes. She's from the new Gossip Girl series.
Yeah, she's in a few things. She's been in a few things. I remember her from some other movie I want to say, but I can't think.
I think that's the one. That's the one that I know her from. It took me a minute to recognize her, but like that was the one I know her from more recently. Is the Gossip Girl reboot.
Okay, really quick question. In the first movie, who lit the black flame candle?
Thackeray Bing. I mean,
No.
Max.
It was the girl. It was
No,
Zach.
Max.
Oh, it was
No,
Max.
it
It
was
was Max.
Max did.
It was Max. You right.
Max was the virgin that lit the candle.
But wasn't one of the girls a witch in the end?
No, that
No.
was his little sister that dressed as a witch.
She just really wanted to be, I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
behind me.
Yeah, Danny
Yes.
wanted to be a witch.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, and then what's her name? The love interest. She just knew a lot about the Sanderson sisters because
Allison.
Allison just
Yeah.
Allison.
family. Yeah, she knew a lot about the history.
Yeah.
I liked Allison.
Mhm.
Clever little white witch when she was throwing that salt all around her. My friend said, I wonder when I'm gonna call her Zoya from Gossip Girl.
Right.
Why didn't she call her that when she was throwing that salt around her?
Because
I have
okay,
so many questions from this new movie, which I enjoyed. You can't compare this movie to the original. It's not for that, right? It's
Yeah.
not for like this one is better than this one because of the no.
No,
you can't
I didn't need that, and
No.
I think I didn't come with the mindset that I wanted some big epic movie with like all the feels, but like it was purely for nostalgia. Like
Yeah.
like it's how many years has it been since the original? Like it's been over 20 years.
29, 30 years.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Good
But give me some
God.
feels. I got feels at the end.
So like no, but I enjoyed it. But like I wasn't expecting my expectations weren't heightened simply because it's something from my childhood. Like I simply enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
Campy.
Campy shit.
I mean, right. Bette Midler.
I live for it, bro.
Like it was campy and I enjoyed it for what it was. So I didn't need it to be some kind of epic Halloween film. No, it's a freaking Disney film that went straight to stream. Not straight to DVD, straight to stream.
Some wicked it has some wicked background
Hocus
music, Billy. There's like maybe two main musical numbers, but it was not a musical for sure. No.
Yeah, it fell flat to me on the song.
Hocus Pocus 2 was as much of a musical as Hocus Pocus 1 was. Hocus Pocus 1 doesn't seem like it's a musical, but there are 3 distinct songs in that show.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm
I mean,
sorry,
it's
but
a lot.
but like it's at the same time like it's a Disney movie with Bette Midler. Like there's gotta be some singing in it.
Yeah, she's gonna sing something.
They're all theater girls.
Right. They're
Exactly.
Yeah.
they gonna sing a little tune, sing a little ditty for you. Okay.
Martha played Annie when she was young, and the other was from Sister Act. So it's just like
Right.
Right.
Kathy.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, the Jimmy, love her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love her. But most of all, Bette Midler. How you not gonna have her sing a song?
You're right. You're right.
Bette Midler, I don't think she signs any contracts unless it says somewhere in there you have to sing a fucking musical.
She's got to
Like, I think she's like, there's something wrong with this contract. Everything's something we're missing.
I have a 2-verse minimum.
Right.
So...
Look, the last movie that I remember her in, like specifically me, like, is the First Wives Club.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I love.
Like they had a whole number in there. What do you mean?
And even in Prom, even though it was actually a musical, but she did.
I live for Bette Midler.
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting. I like some of the parallels from this one to the original.
Mm-hmm.
I like how there's 3 sisters, 3 best friends.
Yeah.
I like that. Of course, the lead is of color. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like that the Sarah / Allison character girl who's having a party. Her father's the mayor and all that. I liked her character. I love her ride or die best friend. That was fun.
Right.
But I wish they would have touched on why she's magical. I guess it's not important.
Yeah, that was a little out of nowhere.
It was so.
But then not, because I feel like we got that in the beginning where it was like, you know what I mean? It's like whenever there's like a bond of three girls, there's nothing but magic there, kind of thing. So
and they touched on it in the beginning of this movie, whereas opposed to the first movie, like they get by their wits, and what they kind of know about any type of like witch lore, whereas these are like kind of practicing when we first meet them. At least one of them is definitely practicing in some form, but because of the fact that there may be a Hocus Pocus 3, I would hope that they would kind of hopefully they'll have the same girls and they expand upon it more, like where is that witch link beyond the Sanderson sisters come in, because that would have made sense in the first movie too for us to have someone as like a witch in there, because you know they are in Salem.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like perfect breeding ground.
Allison would have been a great witch, honestly.
Would have, yeah.
But Allison would have been a perfect candidate because she's the one that's actually from Salem, from the original 3.
Yeah. Actually, it was funny because I thought that she was one. That's why I was asking before. I was like, did they like hint at her being an actual witch, or was it just that she was really into it?
I think she was really into it, and she knew the history.
Yeah, and she read some of the books, so she learned things.
Yeah. Okay. So then I kind of see a little bit more now that I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I can kind of see a little bit more where the magic is coming from for these girls. You know, I think it really is just more their connection with each other, just the way, we see this at the end in a way. Spoiler alert. But she's like, what is the magic without my sisters? But the sisters, I mean, they got their light now, but traditionally for the past 300-400 years, they have been weaker. And Winifred has been the one who has like really all the magic, essentially. They're just kind of like the support in the coven, which is exactly what these other two girls were for, what was her name? The main girl, what was her name?
Oh, yeah.
Right, we're gonna call her Zoya.
Oh yeah, okay. It was Zoya, Izzy, and Cassie. So Izzy and Cassie were Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Najimy. You know what I mean? Essentially, in that moment and stuff. So, but what I really like is that they are going with a third one. I do hope that they continue this story in a way where it's like, okay, well, we saw the first Sanderson sisters and how they were just magical, but you know, magic itself wasn't something that was evil. It was just like those girls who got jaded, and so they used it for evil. And like now we're gonna hopefully maybe see with these three how they're gonna use that magic in better ways, because the book now has chosen them three. Like it's like a whole new wave of witches in a way. So that's
so speaking of like when you get some backstory of characters, like the 3 young girls that played the younger Sanderson sisters, particularly the one that played Winifred, Winifred was spot on.
That girl killed it. From the moment she like turned around in that very first cut to moment for them, and she just turned around and you hear like the whoosh. And I was just like, oh, this was so spot on, babe.
It's like if we didn't get it, it's like if we don't get a Hocus Pocus 3, I would have been perfectly happy with a prequel with those girls. I would be very happy with a prequel mainly because of that one that played Winifred. But some background as to why those three sisters were like outcasted from the town and why they were how they ended up.
Yeah. Well, I think their mother died. They were orphans, I think. And then, their mother died, and then their father eventually finally died.
Because they're
right.
So I also think perhaps the father was like the mayor / some shit like that, and I think maybe the Reverend at the time probably had him like poisoned. You know what I mean? The Reverend seems like, oh yeah, like this is for your father, blah 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 blah. But like he was very like, I don't really like your family or your father, yet I'm still doing this for him. But why? It's like maybe because you feel bad because you probably took him out of the picture. Like,
I don't know. I think it's more of just because those were three girls that were living and being okay on their own, and you can't have anybody else in the town seeing three women living by themselves being okay on their own. So of course you're going to try to marry off the eldest daughter, the eldest sister, to keep them in line.
True.
Because you could because the next step was to not the first one wasn't to kick them all out at first. It was just to kick Winifred out and then take the other two and control them. Well, you can't control Winifred because, you know, she's too headstrong.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. That's true. That's true.
If
that speaks to like
if there was a Hocus Pocus 3, I think it would be fun for it to just be a whole prequel.
I would enjoy a prequel.
Mm-hmm. But if we get a prequel, I actually don't want to know how they got there. I'd want to see after they got the book and from you know, first birthing their magic to when we first see them.
I don't know, because we didn't really see the girls do. I don't want to see a prequel only about Winifred doing magic. It wasn't until this one, which I enjoyed so much, that they had powers too.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really nice to see because they had so much fun, you know, zapping each other.
Yeah.
If we get a prequel, we're only going to see Winifred use her powers.
You're right. That's true.
That's true. One thing that I was looking forward to that they didn't really give me, but they did give me, was Sarah and Mary sort of exploring what other powers they have, what powers they do.
What other powers?
Yeah, you know they have more powers than just like luring children and smelling children. Like, they have to have more powers than that.
But those powers are expressions of bigger powers.
Right. Yeah. It's what can serve Winifred. Like, what powers do they have that can serve whatever Winifred's goal is?
Yeah.
Because I guess Sarah was a siren in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mary was doing divination to a degree, you know. So like, if they really wanted to, they can really dive and make those things really cool and concrete, even if those powers are expressed the same way in the New Girls.
They really could, because what is the one? It's actually the smelling, something voyant.
Yeah.
Voyances. And
that's the thing. Yeah.
So the smell has one of them. So it's like they could have entirely expanded upon that a little more.
Yeah. If we have a sequel with the new set of 3,
but it's absolutely possible, because now we have 3 new witches who don't know what their powers are, and they're just going to, you know, we can learn with them. So
Billy, this is the time to go ahead and it's okay if you turn us off and you turn on Disney Plus right now. It's okay. We forgive you. We forgive you. Tell your wife that she's on the fence right now. She can go ahead and watch it on Disney Plus.
What's her name? I need to tweet about her.
At her. We're going at her.
We're at her very shortly. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, as long as the wife likes like a witchy tale, but not even, because this thing, it was like, you know, there were so many different pieces in there that can appeal to different people. So
I feel so my thought process is I feel like the first one was truly a Halloween movie.
Yes.
And granted, the second one was on Halloween. I felt like this was just an expansion of just the first one. Like, I really feel like when I want to watch something on Halloween, like Hocus Pocus, it's like one. It's full on Halloween.
Yeah, I agree. I agree to that. I am there with you on that one, because this one did feel like it wasn't as much about the season. The way that the first one is.
Right.
So
it didn't do it. I mean, I like the movie. It just didn't do it for me like the original. And I'm one of those people, like, I didn't expect y'all to do that. Okay. I didn't expect y'all to come in here and give me, I put a spell on you. And I love it just as much as the original one.
Right. Yeah.
But it was some cool nuances. The casting for me was great. I love the shop. And I love
Gilbert. He was so cute.
Yes. Like Gary on Veep. I love the mayor. I love those two. They are so
The
funny.
mayor was so precious.
He is hilarious.
He was
Hilarious.
so precious. I love
He
him
was
so much.
so
And
cute.
the little boyfriend, I was like, my gosh, y'all are saying some things with his boyfriend
right.
that's like
But
that's
it's
just
true,
like
though.
he's like just realizing that like he's a complete douchebag to every other person that
That's
he
all I was
meets.
making conversation. With the shame that, like, he really did think that he was just making conversation. 'Cause, like,
Yeah.
when you see them in there and they're having that one interaction in the science class, I think, or whatever, he's saying a lot of shit that I'm just like, boy, you just keep sticking your foot in your mouth. But I'm like,
And
I
he
even
has
see it.
no
He's just
clue.
expressing himself as he feels it. And it's
And
just
like at the end, he's like, I have so many people that I need to apologize to. How long have you been doing this? And you didn't realize
Entire life, probably.
entire life. Just golly.
That privilege, boy.
Ooh. Talk about it.
You don't know nothing.
Okay,
You
but
don't-
that was also a nice moment where they were just like, this is how you approach your privilege, right? Without actually like laying it out on a platter, I suppose.
It's like they're literally like, dude, when you talk to us, you say mean and hurtful things. Therefore, we feel like you're making fun of us.
Yeah.
Therefore, we don't like you.
Oh no!
Really?
Conversation. Oh,
okay. I guess I get it.
yeah. I mean, you are probably blithely unaware of everything.
Oh man.
I thought it was great. I didn't. A lot of people got emotional at the end. I didn't feel it, but I can see how that could be a thing.
No, I didn't get emotional. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed it for a sequel that was like nostalgia, and the sequel that happened like, God, has it really been like that many years? Like over 20 years. Yeah, it's like
if they can build upon this, and I don't even think it's necessary, but if they choose to, they don't have to. We don't need a sequel. We don't need any of that. We're good.
I didn't need this one, honestly. Like I didn't need it. I enjoyed it.
Neither.
Like I religiously still watch Hocus Pocus every Halloween.
Like,
I
mean, the only way I probably would have had, I really wanted Danny to be the lead of this movie.
Yeah,
and maybe her kids returning to their parents' house back in Salem to see how they're doing on Halloween, and then shit happens. I really wanted that to focus more. We didn't need Max or Allison, but I would have loved to see Danny come back, and then I probably would have had a more connection to this film because.
Okay, wait. So really fast, post-credit scene. We all saw it.
Oh yeah, we know.
Okay, I don't know anything about it, but all I know is that there's another cat, and I'm like, so I'm not really sure what they're pointing to, but
they're saying that the other is another black flame candle for the witch who gave them the book in the beginning.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Now that she would be a cool antagonist / mentor,
right?
With a dark purpose in the end for the girls, the new set of girls.
So that one right there. So the witch that initially gave them the book, the one that they technically called Mother, right? They could have done more with that character.
Agreed.
Now, and I granted, like she was in the beginning with the younger versions of them. If they could do more with that character,
I think they're going to. When we see the three girls at the end of this one walking away, we see her flying behind them. Ooh, there goes Instagram, guys. So we see, let's say goodbye. So we see them, we see
hello.
We see that witch flying alongside, like right behind them as they're walking off into the mist. So I feel like we are gonna definitely get to see her in the next one, and she'll probably just usher in the next.
I love the idea that she was so like, hey, you don't want to do the spell because we know because you lost your coven too because you did the spell. And so it'll be so interesting to get some more information about that.
But what was also great about that though was also how just like I don't know because the point was like we painted those witches as the villains in Hocus Pocus 1, and here we kind of see them not exactly villains. It's different now, She says don't do it because she knows she lost her coven because she also lost whoever her two sisters were, quote unquote.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why she was like, Winifred, I know that this is not something a line you want to cross. And then we see her do it, and then now she realizes why. So it's like, oh, okay, that it's like she's not exactly a villain though, you know, that's what I'm saying. So it's like
So what I appreciate is the further personification of book.
Yeah.
Of the spell book. So
also
like
that bitch cried. I was like, okay. That's
so
my
like
right.
like spell book is not just like not just a sentient book, but like clearly it has like feelings and
thoughts,
wants and needs and like likes and dislikes. I like it doesn't like it when you do the spell. Don't do the spell, and it's going and like the fact that it can choose who it wants to be with.
Now, see, an origin about the book will be great. You know, all those things are so cool. Like, you know how the mirror is it Sleeping Beauty? No, it's Snow White.
Mm-hmm.
And once upon a time, someone was casted into that mirror, and now they lied to her. And to punish them, she casted them in the mirror to always tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
She named her dog Book. Okay, wait, Billy. Sorry, not to interject, but Billy, did she name her dog Book after this movie, or just Book because that's a solid name?
Like, does she literally like say it like Winifred does? And it's definitely after the movie, so like she says it.
Yeah, because that's how you call that dog from now on. From now
dog like that. Like that's a waste of a name if you don't.
That's a good name.
Honestly,
that's cute. That's a great idea. That's cute. We like that.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see some kind of background with that. So honestly, so now that I think about it, when you're talking about the personification of the book itself, like if they were to make this into an animated series,
yeah, actually, I think they could do it.
I could see it being something smaller. Like I don't know if I need another movie. I would love to see. Yeah, like I want to see like a smaller series where they are able to expand upon some of these characters, these people that they've introduced, or the background for some of these characters that we knew from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, Book is a character.
That would be a great idea because you can expand on a lot of characters a little more. You can expand upon like the comedy that lies in there, and like okay, so I also thought this one was just as much geared towards like a younger audience as much as like an older one for the nostalgia. They still had a lot of really kiddie moments, I thought, or like the moments that I thought kids would respond to well.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay,
they
I can
did.
see how this cut that.
But I feel like a lot of them. Okay, so the way I feel is I feel like this movie leaned into the nostalgia a little too much and too often. Because I'm looking at it as like you could have nods toward the first movie, but it doesn't have to be like complete recreations of the first movie. Like they tried so hard to hit every beat from the first movie that they could and recreate whatever scene they could from the first movie. Whatever you remember, this movie was like, hey, remember this from the first movie? Remember when they did this in the first movie? Ooh, hey, remember this? Remember this? Which is great if you're not going to watch both movies back to back. But most people, like if you are really watching these movies 30 years apart, then it's fun.
Right.
But most people are going to watch Hocus Pocus 1 and then Hocus Pocus 2. So if I'm watching one movie for 2 hours, the very next movie I watch after it doesn't have to be 2 hours of, hey, do you remember?
Yes, I do remember. It was 20 minutes ago, bitch.
So therefore, I'm glad that I didn't stop to watch the first one before I watched the second one. Like,
same.
I think I had watched the first one like maybe in the beginning of September, maybe like August, just randomly because the kids wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
And so like I didn't have to prep myself to. I didn't feel the need to prep myself to watch before I watched the second one because the kids and I have already seen it. It's nothing, anything new. But like, we watched the second one just as is, and I think it was good.
Yeah,
and they both enjoyed it.
I think I agree. As is, it's a different feel because now that like Jermaine has mentioned it, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, a lot of those scenes were actually recreations of the first one, but I didn't watch them back to back, so it didn't like occur to me at the time. Now that I'm thinking about it, okay, I see that. But I thought where they shined most and what they probably could have done more of to make it less like the other one, but still give you that nostalgia feel, I guess, would be to expand a little bit more on when, like, the moments when they are in modern life. Those moments were really like those parts were cute.
The stuff that the stuff in the scenes in the Walgreens were very funny. I enjoyed.
Scene was great.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah. I also like the Siri when Siri was talking to them and they're like, "Oh my god, there's a woman trapped in a box. We have to run." Like,
right.
I love it. I love that.
Right.
What I didn't like is when they showed Hocus Pocus, somebody was watching on TV.
That was funny. I liked it.
I hated it.
I didn't need it.
That was stupid.
I didn't need that.
Yeah.
What are you telling us by doing that? I'm so confused on what.
Right. Like, what was the purpose of that?
It was maybe unnecessary, but as far as
that and like
we all
the drag
okay.
Oh, right. So
contest.
the costume contest, which was like a mix of a drag show, because there were some people in drag and then some like that for them it was just a costume.
Yeah. I think they were just kind of really. I'm sorry, but the gays kind of revived, I would say, the Hocus Pocus.
Look, the gays. So not to speak for y'all. I'm sorry, but. But so like from what if you watch the Hocus Pocus anniversary show that's on Disney Plus, the gays are all over that. The gays are all through that.
They really love Hocus Pocus.
They really love Hocus Pocus. They love dressing as the Sanderson sisters. They love doing the lipstick for Winifred. They like if you watch that, you can see that they're all up in, the gays and the theys are all up and through that, and
they're hitting their demographics,
right? And so it makes sense why you would see a portion of that in that costume contest.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and then also who they chose to do that because that was an iconic moment for Ginger Minj and her drag career, and then also bringing back the Hocus Pocus craze because shortly after she did that, after she had showcased that, you saw a lot more Winifred costumes coming out. That was what, maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, something like that. And like now here we are, and then we get all this drumming up for Hocus Pocus 2, and now here we have
it's
it.
It's very cult classic like. It's very cult classic.
Sorry, ASMR, right?
I'm gonna go.
Right.
What are you pouring?
Glug 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 glug. is this new Moscato that I have? Okay, so yes. I'll have to get you drinks with D'Angelo. There it is. Drinks with Ren. I'm gonna give a quick plug to my friend. Drinks with D'Angelo. She distributes wines from California. I think these are.
And that's all fine. Appreciative of the nod and but in universe, that was so weird because now.
No,
we just we drink anyway, so it
right.
wasn't a game.
There is usually a game. What is the game today?
Look, we're an hour and 18 minutes in. We're almost done. So we just drinking now.
Yeah, hey.
We just casually drinking at this point.
Yeah. At least we're not drinking alone. So
drinking game is take a shot every time my internet goes.
Ooh, I can't do all that.
What did he say?
Take a something. So I'm assuming he meant take a
shot every time his internet goes. Well, I'll be drunk before the end of the night. No, I'm just kidding.
Come back.
No.
I want Julian. You need to be removed from the chat from this.
You're right.
Check your email.
Check my. Oh God! I'm not paying attention.
Oh no!
Send us your badge.
No, not the badge. With the Geekin Out logo on it.
Yeah. Which badge?
Your scan card
Oh,
to get
my
you in the
scan-
building.
Badge, bitch. Badge. So what do we rate
But-
this? Like, I'm 5. 5 broomsticks.
5 room. Okay. 3. I call it 3
out of how many
Roombas.
broomsticks? 10?
5
Because
broomsticks.
that's what I would give
Out
it.
of 5 broomsticks, what do you rate it?
Out of how many?
5.
Out of
Shit.
5.
You just
Okay.
said out of 5.
I give it 5 Roombas. I
Not
like the
Roomba.
I thought that was cute. I thought that was cute when they came like they're following them around.
They were cute.
That was cute. I was like,
I love it. So
You get
instead
a
of
5?
That was cute.
I'll give it 4. I'll give it 4 Roombas. I wish that the song was okay. The song was great, but it wasn't as captivating as I Put a Spell on You.
Not at
No.
all.
Mm-mm.
It was not. It was not that. But I mean, you can't. It's hard to recreate.
Okay. Like,
It's hard to recreate that though.
No,
it's hard
But they
to
did.
right.
They did a
but
solid
at the
job
same
of
time,
getting
they
me
didn't really
energized,
try.
but they just didn't. It still didn't reach the same bar. That's all. Like
I didn't care for it.
First of all, the song that they sang in the place of I'm gonna get you. That's so modernly
Right.
well known.
One way or another.
And
Listen,
everybody
Kevin
already
told
knows
them to
that
do
song.
it.
Everybody already knows how it sounds. I Put a Spell on You is so different from its original I Put a Spell on You that
You're
they're
right.
practically 2 different songs. Like
Mm-hmm.
the tempo,
They
the
could have done a
feel,
more witchy
everything.
song. That it could have been more.
Like it was literally the same version that Sabrina Spellman did on that one season of Sabrina
Yeah.
Teenage Witch. Like
Agreed. Yeah.
it was giving me that as opposed
Kevin
to
also
like
told them to do that one. So I mean, whatever.
like as opposed to like this very club musical theater version of I Put a Spell on You, which kind of showcased more of Bette Midler's style. Even though like by that point, like we all know that she can sing.
Yeah.
But like this one didn't give us any more. It
This one
didn't
just
have
made
the
them sing
pizzazz.
just because they sang in the first one.
Yes,
Like when
it
they
was
come
simply
and they're
because
reborn, they just break into the witches are back. For why?
why?
Yeah, that was
Oh yeah, I didn't like that part either.
Yeah.
It was
But you know what I did enjoy?
Why?
There's a
why? Because they produced the song,
oh probably
a fully produced song for it, so they had to showcase it in the movie somewhere. That's why.
In
When
the
they did their-
original music.
Go ahead, Timon.
Oh,
They were very specific reasons.
I'm sorry, y'all. I don't have my voice is trash.
When they're
Are we all
just-
sick? Is that what's happening?
Well, all I want
we're
to
here. We're gonna sing.
Where's my shot?
Right. Oh, that's right. Are we drinking? Okay, drink, guys. I mean, internet has now cut out yet again. So people.
Well, I'm gonna sleep real good tonight, y'all. Ooh.
Okay, all I wanted to say.
But Zamani, you were saying.
I enjoyed that they did. There's another layer of the Lord that they gave us. In their spells, they all have the mystical, magical. I said that was really cool that they incorporated that, and it's almost like they're building lore into how their magic works. And I said that is so cool. You do need sisters to do those type of spells,
Right. So like it wasn't just like some random like thing that it did as a spell. Like it's like essential to their spell work.
Yeah, it wasn't just the first spell for Zachary Binks. No, this is how our spells work. Yickety yakety mystical magic.
Oh my goodness.
Well, they didn't really do any new spells either.
No, I mean like they did some new spells, but it's hard to differentiate those new spells when you still have that same little cadence to go along in between them.
But what I did, yeah, the cadence doesn't help. But I did like how when they did break out, they broke the curse was a spell of their own, and I was just like, okay, that's what I'm here for. Like, show me a little bit of that, where it's like, okay, there's autonomy. I mean, there's in their variation in their spell casting. So
Absolutely. I would give it at least 3.5 Roombas.
okay.
Pushing like 3 3/4 of a Roomba. Because I enjoyed it. I didn't have expectations for it though. But I enjoyed it, and that's all that matters for me. Like, did I want to watch it? Cool. Could I watch it again? Awesome.
Maybe.
But I wasn't expecting like
if they play it back to back on TNT, yes, I will tune in.
I'll sit and watch it because it tis the season. But like
scrapping eggs and fixing breakfast and cleaning up, and it's gonna stay on.
If the kids wanted to watch Hocus Pocus 2 on the TV, I'd be like, okay, cool.
Go.
That's fine.
I'm with you, Ricky. I give it also 3.5.
I really want to put like some Roombas on the screen.
I know, right? Do we have? Oh, I wish we had one.
No, we don't have time. That's too much work.
Look, I'm gonna be the nasty one and give it 2.5. Maybe
2.5
2.
Roombas? Oh man.
No, he said no Hocus Pocus 2.
I wanted it to stand more as its own movie rather than a nostalgia movie.
Yeah.
I'm the person that didn't expect much, but I didn't want it to be a nostalgia movie.
Makes sense.
You know, I can understand that, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. I think it's weird. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe because like people's expectations for these films.
But yeah, you just gotta like know where your expectations lie. It's like this is what you expected. This is what you
don't
got.
have any people.
That, like, yeah,
essentially, like, don't expect these things to completely blow your mind and blow you away. Like, just like some of these things are truly meant for nostalgia. Simply, this would have been a straight DVD.
Yeah,
and there's something wrong with that.
No, definitely. I'm glad I didn't go to a theaters to see this. Now that would have pissed me off.
Like this is like all the Bring It On renditions after the first one. Like these are all straight DVDs and go straight to like Freeform afterwards, and that's fine.
It's giving Halloween Town, and that's fine.
Hey, and we still sit and watch those too.
I'm sorry.
I said even Halloween Town movies didn't call back to each other as much.
Right. Well, yeah. But
like
they were directly
and Frozen 2 suffer from the same.
But also, but Halloween.
Hey, remember?
But
remember
like,
the first
Town
movie?
didn't have the large time span in between,
yeah.
Like. Because when you have the first Hocus Pocus, it's very much like we're thinking we're never seeing the Sanderson sisters again. Like there's no way to bring them back. Where and so like I can kind of see that where it doesn't like Halloween Town doesn't have to harken back to the first so much to get people hooked.
Right.
I mean, you could have nods to the old one, but like they had people dressed up as like the random husband and his wife.
Yeah, that was why.
I thought okay.
So I feel like the amount of people that were dressed up as the Sanderson sisters compared to the first one, where you saw like at least like one little group of girls that had a Sanderson sisters costume, and like this one where you had like several. I think that's a play on the rise of the movie as a cult classic.
That's what they're doing. They're just kind of putting that in the they're kind of playing fun at the fact that you know, they're a popular item in a way.
Oh my god.
Drink, guys, drink.
Come on.
We locked in yet
I
again.
can't stand you.
Chris Ricky said, "Oh my god."
If you were watching on Instagram, sorry, my phone has died. Out of power.
Golly.
Oh my god. I can scream. I definitely would.
I definitely said, "Oh, he's gone." Not, oh my god.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, that's it. It's done.
Oh. Stop.
Oh, I thought you said, "Oh my god."
Can I say that Timon tried to play us on one of the episodes of Scream Kings?
Mhm.
He tried to play us.
No,
He did.
don't listen to Ricky. That's not true.
He said he was one of the nice. He said he was one of the nicer ones.
I
he
said
said he
I'm
was
the
the
nice
nice
one
one.
on the panel.
Yeah, he's nice.
Thank you. See?
Okay, I'm doing
The
an
nice
We have
one.
what?
The nice one.
3.5. I give it a 4 and a 2.5, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, random. Go ahead, but keep going.
But he said he was the nice one on the show.
Yes, he is. He's nice.
The nice one.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Not
Redemption.
a nice one. Not a nice one. The
Redemption.
nice one.
I have been redeemed.
Ooh.
Wait, but who is the nice one? If it's not him, who is it?
Because you're the one that's sticking up for him. It's you, Julian.
You're
You're the nice one, Julian.
No. He's the nice
You're the cinnamon Julian. We're all the mean ones.
No, that's not true.
No, that's not true. Julian just crowned me as the nice one.
There we go.
Therefore,
He's got a sash. He has a scepter.
Therefore, Julian's the actual heir to the Geeking Out throne as the nice one.
Mr. Congeniality.
There you go.
Right? Is that right? Oh yeah, Mr. Congeniality then. Okay.
All right, Jermaine, we gotta wrap it up soon. So, the next one was supposed to be, original versus sequel. This should be quick and easy.
Oh, this is quick and easy. Yeah. Is there really a competition?
What? Original versus sequel or original all day?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I would agree. Yeah. I would agree. I think this
what?
Original versus the sequel, like
original.
Pros and cons.
Same question.
Yeah. I think that the sequel has its merits. I think the sequel has its really nice and cool points that that makes it enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
But the original has nostalgia and time on its side right now. And it's got has a following that if it weren't for that following in the cult classic like era that it's in, you wouldn't even think about having the sequel in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
at least at this point in time. I mean, like if it had been released, if it had premiered during the actual Halloween season, I could see it having a sequel sooner, assuming that the actresses were willing to do it. But at this point in time, it's the original.
Yeah.
Even a sequel picks the original.
The thing is, I don't even think we would get the same sequel that we got now if it was.
Oh man.
Oh, if it was done in like 1998, nah.
Right.
It would have been much more of a standalone thing.
We would have got her, Thora Birch, as Danny.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or Max or Allison would have been back.
Yeah.
One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one way.
Right.
Yeah, sure, Winifred.
I think so too. Like if we had a sequel closer in time with the original,
maybe next week. I'm gonna get you.
It would have, the story would have been a smidge more cohesive with the original.
Yeah.
But the plus side is that there's the possibilities that we can get with with what we saw from the sequel, like the younger versions of the Sanderson sisters book, that the witch that they call Mother, like this, the three new witches now, like there's potential. They have something to build on.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
See, I can see the bones that they wanted to do, where they wanted
There's
to
some
make
bones.
this sort of like the craft versus the Sanderson sisters.
Ooh, that brings up a good point though. So like when you
That
so like
would
now
have
that you bring
been
up the craft then.
Wait, what is the comparison between the Craft and the Sanderson sisters?
So the Craft just put out a sequel like a year ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
As opposed to and like keep in mind, like there's about a similar like time span difference between the Craft and its sequel and Hocus Pocus and its sequel.
Yeah.
Like they're so
so we freezing? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl.
I'm
okay, but I think that the difference, there's a huge difference
Wow.
in the way that they were produced, because maybe the Craft sequel just felt very different from the original Craft versus this one just being like very much like the original in its own way. So it's like,
I guess so. And but the thing is though, like both of these sequels had the backing of streaming platforms that should have given them more freedom to do better. And so like Hocus Pocus 2 did better as opposed to the Craft's chance to do better. Because the Craft was it Amazon Prime?
Maybe, I don't think I saw it, to be honest.
I remember not having to pay for it. That's just, I know that much.
Okay.
I think it was on Prime, but like
Probably.
it and like that one right there was definitely like we wanted to basically remake the first one with the new set of girls with with a small connection to the original, or not really a small connection, but like a underlying connection to the original. But like we would have basically like replay this over.
Yeah.
As opposed to Hocus Pocus 2, like kind of took a different story.
Yeah. So which did it a little bit better in a way.
Right.
And then also I felt like because we are in an age of better visual effects, when you revive something that's like fantasy from so long ago, it's really hard to like, you know what I mean, kind of keep true to the old school visual effects, because that's what kind of like, you know, a lot of suspension of disbelief. But the point is, for the Craft 2, I think that they would have done better if they did actually less on the visual effects and really put it more towards like making the visual effects invisible the way that they were in the first one. Like have people fly around the room, but you know what I mean, but make that look more fluid versus making me see the magic, you know, having them fly across the room or whatever it is. Like that, I think that would have done better for them visually.
And what the difference between the Crafts sequel and the Hocus Pocus sequel is that Hocus Pocus sequel was able to somewhat push the story along, as opposed to the Crafts. It felt like it didn't really push that story along.
Oh, Yeah, it just kind of wrapped them up. And it's like, oh, this is what's happening here, and this is what happened over there, but there's no link.
Right. Like this one was able to kind of push that story along with those original characters of like we're gonna see some progression. As small as it is, there's some progression to push the story forward.
Mhm.
All right, so Jermaine, before we freeze up, you wanna close this out?
Yeah, it's time for us to go. I have limited time to talk before my computer gives out on me again.
Oh no.
Been here long
So
enough.
we had fun with you guys tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, join us on all the platforms. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks when we will talk about something Halloweeny.
It's gonna be Halloween. Bring your costumes. Oh man.
Oh yeah, wear your costumes.
Wear your costumes, y'all. You're
If
gonna
someone wants to like
Ooh,
send me
speaking of
this,
Halloween, I gotta go see Megan.
the stallion.
ooh,
That's
If
what we should
someone
have
wa-
played a clip of, Megan.
if someone wants to send me like a pair of adult lime green tights and lime green makeup, I will gladly make myself turn into Jennifer Walters to She-Hulk.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
I
I love
Yes.
that actor.
you
That
I
said
saw-
Jennifer Walters, and I thought Barbara Walters.
Don't do me. Don't do
He
me.
tried it. He tried it.
Could you be-
No, I
could
saw
you be like
someone on
Barbara Walters as
TikTok.
She-Hulk? You
I saw
know,
someone on TikTok that like instead of having to like paint their entire like their top half, they took some really lime green tights, cut a hole for the head,
yeah.
and used the legs for their arms and like sewed their fingers in and cut it out to where like and then just did the top part in makeup. And I'm like, I've been wanting to do that for 2 months now. I've been wanting to try it.
You're like, yes, make me green, bitch.
I want
Get a
to.
green morph suit.
A green morph suit will do it too, actually.
Which one's
But-
which one's this expensive? Which
But it
one?
won't do your face as well, I suppose.
I mean, because I've done the green She-Hulk filter on TikTok already, and I'm look good.
Honestly, I think the stockings are maybe a better idea. It is probably cheaper, but more work. But a better idea also because
Look, I don't take I'm a dance mom, y'all. Like I can sew a couple of things. I can put some needle through some thread. Okay,
I think that one would be better because it'll give you more depth of like color and stuff. You know what I mean? The green morph suit is just very green. You won't really get as much dimension as you will with the sheer tights. So.
And plus, it's probably gonna be cold in Georgia, as cold as it can be in October. So, anyways, yeah, just thoughts. If you want to send me those things, go ahead.
I will be She-Hulk.
I will be that. I will be that, and I will be on the screen doing that for y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a genie. I haven't decided.
You're either gonna see Cruel DeVille or Prince Jasmine. It's gonna be one of those two. For sure.
See, I was trying to get my daughter to be Cruella DeVille for Halloween, and she wanted to be Hermione. She was a Gryffindor. So if you like go on my Facebook or Instagram at all, like you'll see a picture of her as a Gryffindor. She has the curly wild hair, so she could be your black Hermione. Or your light skinned Hermione.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. Bye everyone.
Bye.
And, love you all.